Now, on 20th of October, at the Mashujaa Day celebrations, the President of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, in his speech, talked about climate change and went ahead to highlight specific measures to be put in place.
To respond to the evolving situation, I have directed that a long-term and sustainable solution to the planetary challenges be put in place. The ultimate solution includes greening our country to more than 30% of tree cover by 2032.
So, as I listened to that specific part of his speech, two things came in mind: adaptation and mitigation. Adaptation simply means that we are trying to fix the effects of climate change. This simply means that when it comes to the agricultural sector, which is already affected, there's food insecurity. Let's say we come up with climate resilient seeds to give our people to be able to plant, and then thereby we can have at least food production ongoing. But we have not solved the problem. Mitigation is whereby we are trying to fix the root cause of climate change. And according to reports, greenhouse gases, which leads to now global warming, which has led to climate change, the level of greenhouse gases are being increased day by day. So that is where the problem comes in. Mentioned the ultimate solution being greening our country to more than 30% by 2032. I went ahead to ask a few people within my circle the question: do you think planting trees is the solution to climate change? And here are their responses.
I'm here to answer the question whether I think trees are a solution to climate change, and my answer is yes. Because as explained in the previous video, climate change comes about as a result of the emission of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and trees are going to trap specifically carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere and release oxygen into the atmosphere. So although the trees that we have currently globally are not enough to trap all the carbon dioxide that is emitted into the atmosphere, it's important as per now to protect those trees that we already have, to cut on our emissions, and to continue planting more trees, although it will be a gradual process, but in the end, it will be a win.
Yes, this is because trees are said to be natural carbon capture and storage machines. So the more we plant more trees, they'll be in a position to absorb more carbon from the atmosphere, and this will also help us in curbing the climate change. And also, for this to be effective, we also have to have the proper afforestation and afforestation processes.
In Kenya, most of the farmers rely on the red-fed agriculture, and as a result of changes in weather patterns and temperatures, this has really hit us, and as a result, the production levels in the agricultural sector has gone down. Planting trees is one way of curbing climate change. By planting these particular trees, the trees during the day consume carbon dioxide that has been emitted through different human activities to the environment, and as a result emit oxygen, which is useful to the atmosphere. Another thing is that trees are also help in securing water catchment areas and also bringing of the rains. Remember, in agriculture, a huge population relies on red-fed agriculture, and as a result, with the trees, we are able to get rainfalls that are used for production in agriculture. The trees are also helpful in controlling the temperatures, which have been able to rise within the given time. And so with trees, they are helpful in regulating the temperatures.
Is actually one of the mitigation strategies, because as trees absorb carbon, they release oxygen in the atmosphere, which is now the air that we breathe. Trees need carbon in their growth because it leads to formation of now their leaves and their branches. They need the carbon. But then again, the question is, if all we had to do was to plant trees, what is really holding us back? Many corporates, many institutions actually have corporate social responsibilities where they give back to the communities, And in their day's program, maybe Fridays or whatever day that they have in conducting those activities, they have tree planting. The question is, are you aware of the kind of trees that you're planting? Do those trees, at the place where you're planting them, do those trees thrive in that environment? Because they may be causing more harm than good. And then later, we won't be executing the cost of planting trees. With that in mind, here are a few key points to note even as we plan to plant those trees. Number one, let's find tree species that are more resilient to climate change. And at the same time, let's also research and find out the variety of species that can survive in a specific area, so that as you plant them, you don't have only one tree species in a specific area. Have a variety so that it can create an environment can look like almost the one that a forest has. Because forests have a variety of species in them. So when you have different species, they thrive well in that ecosystem. So yeah. Number two, research and find out what species also survive in that area. Because you cannot tell me that the same tree species that are planted in the western region in Kenya are the same ones you're going to plant in eastern region. That cannot work. Because at the end of the day, you'll find that those trees will end up dying and they won't even serve the purpose of what you are trying to achieve. Number three, try and work with the local communities around that area to help you in growing and nurture those trees. To work with the local communities and the youth around that area, those trees are able to be nurtured. They are able to grow and serve their purpose. In itself, somehow, as little as it may seem, it may also create an opportunity for the young people who you can, as an organization, you can also contract them to look after those trees. Finally, let's protect our natural forests. Share this video to as many people as you can. Like, comment. The question is, do you think planting trees is a solution to climate change? I would like to hear your arguments. Thank you for watching and have a great time.